Coming up on Citrus TV News, it's International Women's Day, how Syracuse and the world are celebrating.
And President Trump visits Alabama in the wake of deadly tornadoes, what the president said in the southern state.
And thousands of students are leaving for spring break, but how will the Department of Public Safety monitor empty homes off campus? Citrus TV reporter Chris Venson has more. Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
SU students are leaving for spring break, leaving university housing largely vacant. Good evening. I'm Jack Watson.
And I'm Zach Lang. The Department of Public Safety is making safety preparations to ensure student safety during the break. And according to the Department of Public Safety, thefts are up in the month of March around campus. Chris Venson is at Euclid Avenue with how DPS is protecting students' homes as they leave for spring break. Chris?
Susceptible now.
Not yet. Go.
Zach, with homes now so susceptible since everyone is now off campus, DPS is planning on upping its patrol cars, especially in this Euclid area. It's especially critical that they protect people while they're not home and on vacation.
Seems like the very seconds in Syracuse this year have been long and chilly.
And I'm still 24 hours away from getting into warm weather.
James Colgan's headed south for spring break.
Wow, that's big.
A senior at SU, who in his own words, is
Extremely ready to be leaving a place that is as cold and decrepit as this place is.
He's one of thousands of students who are headed home this weekend with only the essentials.
People always love people with fun socks. It's my key to success.
But it's what people don't pack that catches the eye of the bad guys who try to break in while students are out of town.
They know the schedule, they can see if there's a mass exodus.
Department of Public Safety Officer C.J. McCurdy implores students to up their communication before they vacation.
Who is going to be the last person out and make sure they secure everything.
Especially for residents in off-campus housing.
This year, I feel like every third week there's been a story about someone getting broken into around here. It's insane.
According to DPS's daily crime log, in just the past month, there have been 20 thefts around campus at 12 separate locations. That's nearly double the previous month's total.
Officer McCurdy says there are plenty of things you can do to make your house less appealing to robbers while you're away from home. Things like holding your mail at the post office, turning on the lights, and closing the blinds can make it seem like you're still at home. And it almost goes without saying, but Officer McCurdy says he's always surprised how people still forget to lock the back door.
So remember to lock up this break. It's a few long seconds in exchange for a week of peace. Chris Venson, Citrus TV.
Talk.
Another tip, keep your bottles and recycling out in front of your house. Bottle pickers, Officer McCurdy says, aren't known to be thieves, but they are known as opportunists. So if you're okay with them going through your trash and getting bottles, he says it's better to play it safe than sorry. Just keep everything out front and in view. For Live from Euclid Avenue, I'm Chris Venson. Guys?
All right, Chris, thank you. Syracuse University's newly formed Student of Color Advisory Committee is looking for nominations. The university says the committee will work with DPS to, quote, ensure the well-being of students on and off campus. The deadline to apply is Friday, March 29th, and the members will be announced the week after.
In more SU news, the university is welcoming a four-time SU alumna back to the Hill. Kimberly Townsend will speak as part of its celebration of Women's History Month. Townsend has an undergraduate degree, a law degree, and 2 graduate degrees from SU. According to the university, Townsend will speak on Friday, March 22nd at noon at Burg Library and will discuss lessons from her new book.
And the latest from downtown Syracuse is several dozen AT&T call center workers rallied this morning in favor of keeping call center jobs in New York State. The protesters want the state Senate to pass an act that would try keeping those jobs in New York. State Senator Rachel May was also in attendance.
The trial day is set for the man accused by authorities of shooting 3 people in a Salina Denny's. Authorities are charging 24-year-old Justice Holmes with assault, criminal possession of a weapon, and attempted murder. Holmes could get up to 50 years in prison. Holmes is pleading not guilty and will be tried on June 24th. And Governor Andrew Cuomo announced a $128 million plan to repair roads damaged during the year's winter. The funding will support at least one project in every county across New York State. For Central New York, $12.8 million is reserved for paving projects in Onondaga, Oswego, Cayuga, Cortland, and Madison counties. This includes resurfacing sections of routes 11, 11A, and 91.
Staying in Albany now, as New York State lawmakers are pushing a bill that would allow children to receive vaccinations without parental consent. The The legislation would allow children 14 or older to get vaccinated, even if their parents or guardians say no. Assemblywoman Patricia Fahey and Senator Liz Krueger say the bill is needed because misinformed parents who refuse immunizations allow diseases like measles to spread. And also in the state capitol, lawmakers are considering a bill that would add 6 holidays to the New York school calendar. Of those 6 holidays, 2 are Islamic, 2 are Hindu, 1 is Sikh, and the last is Christian Good Friday. The bill sponsor, New York State Senator Kevin Thomas, is the first state senator of Indian descent. The bill would only allow schools to close for the holidays if, quote, 7.5% of the school's population are of that holiday's faith. And now outside today, Zach, a little sunnier than it's been the past week or so. We did have that winter storm warning. We got a couple inches of snow. Hopefully a change is inbound.
Yeah, in a couple of days, we're going to be enjoying some Florida sun. But could that be the case here in central New York? Luckily, Riley Burg is here with your weather if you're staying here in Syracuse.
Well, as you guys saw outside today, it was actually sunny and a high of 37 degrees. I mean, look at this. I was walking back from class today and you can just see that gorgeous sun. It actually kind of felt like summer here because it's been so cold out, but I gotta say, I was truly enjoying that sun. Now, right now outside, we are still seeing that sun, about 28 degrees outside, partly sunny skies, and then moving into tonight, going to be more clear skies. We're not going to see much wind, about 15 degrees for a high tonight. And if you're wondering if that sun's going to stick around, stay tuned. I'll let you know in my full weather forecast.
All right, Riley, felt a lot warmer today. Thank you so much. Coming up, President Trump's former campaign chairman is off to prison. Hear the president's reactions to Paul Manafort's sentence after the break.
Plus, it's International Women's Day. See how influential women across the world are celebrating and bringing awareness to women's rights. We'll be right back.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're leaving.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. We come back with breaking news as actor Jussie Smollett is indicted on 16 counts by an Illinois grand jury.
Now, the charges against the Empire actor include 16, quote, disorderly conduct felony counts for filing a false police report. Smollett is accused of faking a racially motivated hate crime.
Smollett was indicted on one count a few weeks ago, and Smollett pleaded not guilty to that charge.
And in Washington, President Trump's former campaign chair will serve almost 4 years in prison. A federal judge sentenced Paul Manafort on several financial fraud convictions.
Manafort was facing up to 25 years in prison, which could have kept him in jail for the rest of his life. This concludes a 2-year investigation that started with Manafort's financial ties to Ukraine.
President Trump reacted to the sentencing, saying that the judge's remarks were, in his own words, loud and clear on the White House's possible interactions with Russia.
I feel very badly for Paul Manafort. I think it's been a very, very tough time for him. But if you notice, both his lawyer, a highly respected man, and a very highly respected judge, the judge said there was no collusion with Russia.
And the president is in Alabama today, touring the devastation brought upon the state by multiple tornadoes last weekend.
The president visited Lee County, where most of the damage occurred. According to his Twitter account on Monday, Trump told the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, to give the people of Alabama, quote, A+ treatment.
The death count for the tornadoes still sits at 23, with many more injured. 4 of those deaths were children.
And President Trump is claiming that his former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, asked him for a pardon last year.
The president tweeted that Cohen's lawyers also asked Trump for a pardon, but again, Trump refused. Cohen refuted this and stated he never asked Trump for the pardon, nor would he accept it if Trump had offered him one.
Cohen will start his 3-year prison sentence in May.
Whistleblower Chelsea Manning is in jail after refusing to testify in front of a federal grand jury in Virginia today.
Manning is known to have leaked military documents and intelligence records to WikiLeaks. As a result, she was sentenced to 35 years in jail back in 2010.
Now, that sentence was commuted by former President Barack Obama back in 2017. She will remain behind bars until she testifies or the grand jury finishes its work. And today is International Women's Day, a day to celebrate women's contributions and recognize that there is still gender inequality around the world.
CitrusTV reporter Taylor Lang tells us how people around the world are celebrating.
People around the world are gathering together to march for International Women's Day. This day is more than 100 years old, starting back in 1911 when women marched for more rights. Duchess Meghan Markle took part in an International Women's Day panel this morning, where she said she feels the kicking of feminism inside her. Markle is due with her baby later this spring. And another feminist character in the spotlight right now is Captain Marvel. The movie was released today with actress Brie Larson starring as the title hero. The executive producer says this is the first Marvel movie with a female solo lead, and the studio isn't stopping anytime soon.
I would like to have the Black Panther of every single diverse group that watches our films. So we have 6,000 characters in the vault somewhere. I say let them out.
And also on the screen tonight, Nancy Pelosi and Ava DuVernay will be celebrated at the VH1 Trailblazer Honors. These awards go to women who are pushing the boundaries in politics, entertainment, and activism. The sports world is also celebrating with Steph Curry's new Under Armour shoes. They were advocated for by a young girl. The shoes are purple in honor of International Women's Day. I'm Taylor Lang, Citrus TV News.
If you're interested in getting involved, you can look up events near you, wear the color purple, or use the hashtag International Women's Day.
South Korea and the United States signed an agreement in Seoul today to increase South Korea's payments for the development of U.S. troops in the country.
President Trump urged South Korea to increase its costs earlier this year. The agreement comes after the U.S. scaled back its joint military drills with the country to save money and to be less provocative toward North Korea.
The deal must still go through South Korea's parliament and is expected to pass. The U.S. currently has 28,500 troops in the country.
Coming up, the unmanned SpaceX capsule is back on Earth, how the mission went, and the lofty goal expected by the end of the year.
Plus, this weekend, Americans will lose an hour of sleep. Find out which day you need to turn your clock ahead. Citrus TV will be right back.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. And guess what? We're expecting more sun. Looking at tomorrow, you can see about 23 to start off your day, 32 around noon, and then 33 at night. But you're going to see sun throughout the day. Just a few clouds in the evening, but nothing to dampen your mood. And if you're staying here in Cuse over this wonderful break, you can see we're looking at some sun, you know, a few rain showers here and there, nothing too bad. On Sunday, a little bit of rain and wind, and then Monday we're going to have a rain and snow mix. But then moving into Tuesday and Wednesday, just clouds, a little bit of sun in there, nothing that'll be too bad. Now, if you're flying out of Cuse tonight, here's what you can expect as far as your travel plans. See all that beautiful green? That means no delays. We have a few here in Philly and in DC. That's going to be less than like a 30-minute delay. Nothing that you should be too worried about. But if you are leaving over the weekend and you are concerned about possible delays, you can go to the Federal Aviation Administration's website for more details on current delays across the country. Now, Sunday, I did say you might see some rain, some winds. You can see up here in Syracuse, just some light stuff, and it's coming across the north into Minneapolis. Nothing too bad as far as delays, so really don't worry. But most people are going to be vacationing on Sunday. So looking at temperatures across the country, on Sunday you can see beautiful in Miami, about 80 degrees. Looking over here in Los Angeles, 52 degrees. Really shouldn't be too bad. Unfortunately, I'm going to be over here in Wisconsin where it's going to be a bitter 30 degrees. And if you're like me, you're stuck in the cold over winter break. Best advice to you, stack up on some chocolate, tacos, whatever comfort food makes you happy, and get ready to binge watch your favorite TV show. Guys, back to you.
All right, our weather anchor Riley Burg. Riley, thank you. Facebook announced this morning that it will start taking steps to prevent the spread of anti-vaccination, quote, misinformation. The company is partnering with leading health organizations around the world to filter out known anti-vaccination groups and pages. Facebook says groups that spread misinformation will be warned and then have their pages and ads removed from the platform if they continue. This comes after other platforms like YouTube and Pinterest took similar steps. And the unmanned SpaceX capsule ended its nearly perfect mission by landing safely in the Atlantic Ocean this morning. The mission brought more than 400 pounds of supplies to 3 people on the ISS. A lifelike sensor was also placed where humans would be to show mission control what they could expect and experience during the flight. SpaceX says it is working with NASA to send a manned aircraft into space before the end of the year.
It has been more than 6 months since the rescue mission to remove 12 boys and their soccer coach from a cave in Thailand occurred. The group is currently working with the Thai government to make a deal with Netflix, who wants to tell their story. No contract has been signed, but both sides have agreed to terms and conditions. The government says the deal includes giving 15% of all income to the Thai government mitigation offices, which helped with the rescue. And just a reminder that this weekend is daylight savings. Starting on Sunday at 2 a.m., clocks will move forward an hour. That means we all lose an hour of sleep this weekend. Americans change the clocks to make better use of when the sun is out during the day.
Still ahead, Syracuse men's basketball plays in its final game of the regular season. How the Orange is looking heading into the conference tournament. Also, SU women's ice hockey is playing in the conference championship game right now. I'll give you a live update on how close Syracuse is to winning its first ever CHA title. All that on the other side of the break.
patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
A long basketball season is about to come to a close. Well, for the regular season, that is. Syracuse men's basketball plays its final game of the regular season tomorrow at Clemson. And SU is looking to end on a high note. The Orange have lost 3 of their last 4 games. But with a win, Syracuse would have its best conference record in 5 years. That would be the best since Syracuse has done since its first year in the ACC. Now looking ahead, SU slots in as at least the 7th seed in the conference tournament. But first, the Tigers tomorrow. A game the Orange say will be a challenge, but a game they need.
It's going to be a tough game. I mean, they need to win it, and I've been there before. It's a really tough place to play, and it's going to be a good game. We just have to have one of our best games of the year, so we're going to get ready for that. I mean, they play me pretty tough. I mean, they close the driving lanes up. They deny pretty hard, so, I mean, but I'll be ready for it.
Meanwhile, the Syracuse women's team is already into the playoffs. The Orange had a first-round bye and then started play on Thursday as you beat Virginia by 10 points, setting the table for a quarterfinal matchup with Miami today. In the regular season, Syracuse played the Hurricanes once, a 13-point loss toward the end of January. But today, the Orange earned themselves at least one more game. Syracuse, the 5th seed, beat 4th-seeded Miami 92-85. At first, Syracuse made a run, leading 50-37 at the half, but then a 15-point lead turned into a 1-point deficit in quarter 3. That before Syracuse fought out the W, and Tiana Mangakahia led the charge with 25 points herself. Head coach Quentin Hillsman says the underdogs can keep it going.
We still have these spots to where we don't make plays, and we still, let teams make some runs, but these it's just all about toughness. All we talk about was toughness. What are you willing to do when to save a possession? And they made a run, they took the lead, we came back and we made our run. It's just about playing tough. If we can put 40 minutes together, I think that we got a real chance of doing something special this year.
But the challenge doesn't get any easier. Who would have guessed that's what happens as you move on in the playoffs? Syracuse takes on top seed Notre Dame tomorrow at noon. The nationally 4th-ranked Fighting Irish punched out North Carolina today by 18 points. SU has played Notre Dame once so far this year, lost by 30 points. But optimism for the Orange fans. Tomorrow, a brand new game and anything can happen. And on the ice for the 7th time in 11 years since the program began, Syracuse women's ice hockey is playing in the conference championship. The game is being played right now in Buffalo. 3rd-seeded SU is playing Robert Morris, the CHA regular season champion, and currently SU leads 5-2 with 14 minutes left in regulation. All 5 goals have been scored by a different player. And Cuse men's lacrosse has no idea what it's like to be homesick. SU has played all 4 games at home so far this season, and Game 5 tomorrow is home in the Dome as well. The Orange play 17th-ranked Johns Hopkins, and Syracuse looks to rebound from an overtime loss to Virginia last Saturday. It was one where the Cavaliers scored 6 of the last 7 goals in the game. Both SU and Johns Hopkins are 2-2 on the season, but SU's wins have come against ranked opponents, while the Blue Jays have only lost to ranked opponents. Game time is 1 p.m.
Now, David, I got to say, I lost some sleep last night in the NFL. Big news, Antonio Brown almost traded to the Buffalo Bills, but in the end, that trade ultimately fell through this morning following a statement from GM Brandon Beane. Is there any update on Antonio Brown as of right now?
The only update right now, Zach, is that there actually is no update. He actually put on publicly saying that, I'll let you know in, quote, a little bit. So what that means, yet to find out.
All right, thanks, David.
No, it's just rough news for Buffalo Bills fans. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Gear up, guys.
And welcome back. Again, looking at your 5-day forecast, tomorrow going to be that beautiful sunny, a high of 38. Then Sunday, we're going to see a little bit of rain, some wind. We're looking at about 20 to 30 miles an hour per wind. Again, don't see any delays happening as far as traveling. Looking to Monday, some more rain and snow mix, but it is going to be a little bit warmer. 37 degrees for a high, and Tuesday, just some clouds, 30 for a high, and then Wednesday, that sun is going to peek back out, 44 degrees for a high. Now, and guys, before we end this show, I just want to bring it back to International Women's Day. There's so many beautiful, talented, and amazing women who work in the studio right here. So if you take a look at your screens, you can see right here our General Manager Vic, and then our Associate General Manager Lilia Wood. Going to the next side, we have our Programming Director Tony Bianco on the left, and then Amber McElrath on the right, and behind them is our beautiful former News Director Taylor Lang. She's also Monday News EP. And moving on, we also have other beautiful women who work. They write, they produce, their work crew. We also have some alumni in the picture to your right. And finally, we just want to thank our awesome, amazing, beautiful, talented Friday EP, Kate Wyatt. You can see her right there at the front with her team and crew in the back. Guys, there are just so many hardworking women at this studio. I gotta say, we are so blessed.
Absolutely. Our EP Kate Wyatt putting in so many hours to make sure the show looks as good as it does. And the university spending a lot of time celebrating not only International Women's Day today, but Women's History Month. We, of course, have Kimberly Townsend coming back to Syracuse University to speak on that subject.
And of course, bring it back to our own studio again. That Monday EP you brought up is actually my own twin sister, Taylor. So I gotta say, very proud brother, and I gotta say, very proud of all the hardworking women in this studio.
Absolutely. And also, I think we all gotta give a shout out to our moms, you guys. Like, we would not be here without them. They all worked so hard to get us here at this university. They worked hard raising us. So shout out to the moms out there.
Riley, truly could not agree more. Thank you so much. That's unfortunately all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at CitrusTV News. I'm Jack Watson.
And I'm Zach Lang. Have a great night, Syracuse.